video, we're going to be going over how to add and subtract positive and negative numbers. Before we start adding and subtracting, we should probably know what they are. So, negative numbers are numbers that are less than 0, or in this case, to the left of 0, or in every case, to the left of 0. And positive numbers are numbers bigger than 0, that are to the right of 0. So when you're looking at adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers together, I put down two little charts right here. So when you're adding two positives, you're going to add. When you're adding a positive and a negative, you're going to subtract. And a negative, you will subtract. And when you're subtracting a positive minus a positive, you will subtract. A positive minus a negative, you will add the negative. And a negative minus a negative, you will add the second negative. So that looks and sounds incredibly confusing, but we're going to go over them and I'll show you how it works. So we're going to just go down here and we're going to do the first problem. So the first one is a very simple positive plus positive number. So 5 plus 2. So we find the 5 and we add 2. And since we're adding, we're going on the right in the number line. So 5 plus 2 equals 7. So now this is when things are a little different than what you're used to. A positive plus a negative number. So as we know, a negative number is to the left of 0 and a positive number is to the right of 0. So when you're adding a negative number to a positive number, you're really moving left on the number line. So instead of saying 5 plus 2, that turns into 5 minus 2. So now that we know that, we will start at 5 and we will go to the left 2 on the number line in the direction of negative 2. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So 5 plus negative 2 is 3. So now we're going to go over adding two negatives. So we are going to add negative 5 and negative 2. And just for reference, these parentheses around the negative 2 is just to show you that it is a negative number and not confuse the addition and subtraction signs. So in this one, we have a negative 5 plus a negative 2. So just like we did in this one, where we ended up subtracting the 2, because we're going more left. If you're adding more negative and you're adding more numbers from the left side of 0, you're going to go closer to the left side of 0. So negative 5 minus 2. So we're going to start at negative 5, and since we're subtracting 2, we're going to go to the left 2. So negative 5 minus 2 equals negative 7. So now this is where things get more confusing, is subtracting positive and negative numbers. So the first thing we're going to do is subtract two positive numbers like we've always done. 8 minus 2. I'm going to switch my color here to brown. So we're going to start at 8 and we are going to go left 2 on the number line. So 1, 2, and 8 minus 2 is 6. So there we go, subtracting two positive numbers. Now, when you're subtracting a negative number, you end up adding a negative number. Subtracting means you're going left on the number line, and a negative number is going left on a number line. So when you are subtracting by a negative number, you end up adding by it because you're going the opposite direction of the negative, which is positive. So 8 plus 2. So 8 minus a negative 2 turns into 8 plus 2. When you subtract by a negative, you end up adding it, adding by a positive. So 8 plus 2, you start at 8, go over 2, and 8 minus negative 2 equals 10. Then we have a negative number minus a negative number. And just like we did in this one right here, negative 8 minus a negative 2. This going to the left from a left number turns that minus a negative 2 into a plus a positive 2. So it turns into a negative 8 plus 2, which is your negative plus a positive. So you start at negative 8, and since you're adding 2, since it started as subtracting a negative, you turn it into adding a positive, You're adding a 2, so you're moving right on the number line, closer to the positive numbers. So you add 2, and your answer is -6. So the higher the numbers get on the negative scale, the further away they are from 0, and same with positive. But as they get higher, the numbers get smaller. Unlike when they are a positive number, when they get higher, they get bigger. So some of the words we should know by now is the sum is an answer to an addition problem. A negative number is a number below 0 or to the left of 0 on a number line. A positive number is a number above 0 or a number that goes to the right on a number line. Addition is going to the right on a number line, and subtraction is going to the left on a number line. And that is how you add and subtract positive and negative numbers.